What's up, guys? Welcome. Good evening, everyone. What's going on? Welcome for this first live stream of this series of pre-market analysis. One second, something's wrong with my sound. Okay, got it. All right, so welcome everyone. I hope you guys had a good start of the week. Yesterday, Spain ended up winning the Euros. They were the best team, so deserve it. Sad for England, but it is what it is. In my opinion, actually, England got lucky to get to the final. They didn't really play any strong team. As soon as they played a strong team, they lost. So that's the reality. So well played for Spain. In terms of the markets, it's going to be an interesting week. In here, basically, this series or this live stream is to look for potential setups for tomorrow. It's something that I believe everyone should be doing, like the pre-market analysis. Some people, they may do it in the evening. Some people may do it maybe early in the morning. I like to do it in the evening and to be prepared already to know what I may expect for tomorrow in here. So yeah, just going to go around to check with what I'm expecting. Looking at the calendar as well, tomorrow it's going to be CPI in Canada. That's going to be one pair that I want to pay attention to. We also have retail sales in the US, but the cat pairs actually, they are quite interesting at this point. The market was a bit rangy today, slightly moving to the upside, the euro, pound, and so on, a bit as expected. And then with Fetcher Powell speech today in the economic conference in New York, I start to turn a little bit. But I do believe that the cat pairs are going to be interesting for this week as well. Something that we can pay attention to is that aside from today, Fetcher Powell and tomorrow core retail sales, you don't really have any more news in the US. Okay, so don't expect to be a US dollar type of week. It's going to be actually the main catalysts are going to happen on the other currency pairs. Again, we have CPI in Canada, we have CPI in the UK, we have unemployment in the UK and Australia, and then we have ECB press conference on Thursday. So it's going to be mostly a week focused on the other currency pairs instead of just dollar. And something that we need to be aware of is that maybe there's going to be some kind of there's not going to be a strong correlation on the dollar pairs, and maybe there's going to be for example pound moving up, euro not falling so much, and vice versa. Some others as well, Aussie and so on. So there could be a little bit of non-divergence, confluence within those pairs. So yeah, and in terms of the dollar, for me, it doesn't really change the idea. I think eventually this is going to go down. It can maybe retest a little bit, but eventually that's going to go down. On the euro index, I was looking for price to fake out that level. So I still like the idea of eventually faking out is about top in there. It's true that we kind of react from there. There's no breaks in here at this point yet. So that's something just to be aware of on the euro pairs. Euro ended up faking out the high. Pound doesn't really fake out the high. That was also something to pay attention. The end pairs, I'm not really interested on the end pairs today, to be honest, or for the time being at this point. I want them to evolve a little bit more. So yeah, so I'll be looking eventually. I do have still this level in here that I'm looking for on the euro index. I like the approach a little bit, and I'm curious to see where this euro index is going to be by Thursday. Okay, just before the ECB press conference, that's going to be the important one. It can pick out completely every single high in here. There's maybe a fresh level still in there, but price can definitely just break completely to the upside. Or as I mentioned yesterday, I believe there could be a little bit of a reaction here. I did mention this aspect of using this high as a as a level to fake out, and even better if that level would initially respect price. Exactly just what happened in here. Kind of create a double top type of scenario where now price can actually collect liquidity from that level and push down. So that will be something to pay attention on the euro pairs. It's still missing a proper break of a low in here, so we haven't really got that that break of a low, but that's something also to bear in mind in here. So yeah, that's for me in terms of euro index. I'll be looking for price to fake out this size before looking for any imported shorts in here. The indices are quite interesting. So the indices, I think that's going to be something to pay attention to. Eventually, as a potential reversal. Again, I'm more of a counter trend trader. Okay, so if you are new to the channel, I usually tend to look more for reversals. I can identify the continuation setups, but I just don't feel comfortable trading continuation setups for some reason, unless there are some specific setups that I see in specific days with the news and with proper momentum. Now, it doesn't mean that we are not going to get value from the streams or whatever content I create, because it's actually important to, if in the case you are a continuation trader or momentum trader, the reason for that is it's always good to actually know what kind of your opponent, kind of the person that is doing the opposite as you, what is their thought process, right? So basically the moment that I'm maybe thinking about looking for a trade, maybe that's the moment that you could be looking for a target, for example, or at least avoid looking for a continuation setup. And if I'm not still interested, for example, to look for a reversal, maybe you can still continue to press and continue to look for more continuation setups in there, right? So that's important as well to understand kind of what's the thought process of what the other style of trader is doing opposite to what usually we do in here, right? So yeah, so in this case the indices, right? So we started to fake out some highs in here. I like that. I actually like, as well as I mentioned yesterday, I do like this break of the low. I mentioned that we could eventually still fake out and create new highs in here, and that's good. We also broke this low, so that's interesting. It looks like that we are creating this range, and eventually price can just bounce in between this range this week and literally still retest this demand zone. That's a level that I'm going to be looking for. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. I do like the highs as well in here, so that's something to pay attention in there, depending again how price approach to that level. I do like the break of this level, so it managed to break a low in there and didn't really react all the way to the base of this, or did you react it? Yeah, not exactly. So yeah, that looks nice in here as well. So the way I look at the trades, right? So that's important as well, because when you are doing the pre-market analysis, it's not just to do a quick analysis, right? There should be some thought process behind it in order to understand what you actually are looking for in the first place, right? So something that I always bear in mind is trying to look left, right? That's always the starting point of my analysis. Try to see if there's anything relevant on the left side that I'm looking for price to get to. Okay, if there's a good level, maybe a good level of support, resistance, supply, demand, whatever it may be, or the block, whatever name you want to call it. So that will be one of the first steps. Okay, higher time frame analysis. Where do I think that price wants to go? And if there's any good level on the left where price is either getting close to or already reacting from. Okay, if it is too far away, then maybe it's not the moment to look for a trade. So it starts with that one. Where is price now? What level am I looking for price to get towards to in a higher time frame? Looking left. Secondly, we are looking at okay. So first and foremost, just write it in here. So higher time frame. So even not right. So higher time frame analysis. Looking left. Okay. So that's basically what we'll be looking for. And sorry for my writing. Second is the approach. Okay. So how price is approaching the level that I'm interested in. So that will be always the second part of what I'll be interested. So is price gaining momentum? Is price starting to show some weakness? Is price managing to break some structure to the opposite side? So that will be something that I also take in consideration in order to eventually come up with an idea of what would look like a plus setup for me, because that's what we are looking for. We are looking to to A plus setups in this case, because that's the ones that we are trying to identify when you're doing the pre-market analysis. So that's the approach. Third is going to be higher time frame approach, and that will be in terms of the execution, right? So that will be a little bit more of what kind of PA am I looking now to, or confirmation to actually then execute the trade. Like, is price already kind of giving me that trigger that I want to actually execute the trade in this case, right? Or should I still keep waiting a little bit longer until I actually get that confirmation, that trigger that actually, okay, I'm interested now to look for the trade, or price is just compressing, but still not really giving me the confirmation, the PA to confirmation to actually take the trade. So yeah, that will be the third one. And then of course we're looking at where it to be reasonable price to place to look for a stop loss, and then the target, right? So those will be kind of another ones that we'll be looking for. So what am I thinking to in terms of placing stop loss? Is it above the level? Is it kind of some structure there? Is there any level slightly higher that I need to pay attention to, that maybe price wants to go? And then the target as well, right? Target, you're always looking at space, which is actually one of the most important parts of this, what you're looking for, right? Because without space, there's really no trade. So what kind of space is available in here? For example, in this case on the S&P, we do have this low being broken, so it starts opening a little bit more the space, but the first one is definitely this demand zone. So any shorts in here at this point, it will be towards this level as a first target. From here, price actually can respect the demand and go to the upside. Okay, but on the other hand, we can already pay attention that this low in here was already broken, which means that we can even start thinking about going even lower than that. At least T1 should be in there. Yeah, then it's the trade management, like in terms of the 6, but this is not exactly enough for the market analysis. This yeah, depends on how price is going to evolve in here. Like, is price kind of breaking levels? Is respecting some levels? How we are going to manage the trade? And then eventually it's the mindset, like how am I feeling and so on during before the trade, during the trade, and after the trade. Like, so those are just 7 different aspects or parameters that you usually follow when you are about to take a trade or taking a trade. But the first ones now for the pre-market analysis, what matters is more of this initial 1 to 5. Basically, it's already important to know where the target is. Stop loss, execution still can be a waiting moment, and what kind of approach you're looking for, and a higher time frame. Yeah, so that's something that we look for, and in order eventually to get to the A+ setups that we are looking in here. By the way, let me know what thought process or parameters you usually follow as well when you're about to take those trades. Yeah, and there's always ways to do it. You can write down on a piece of paper. I use actually my trading journal on Notion. That's where I usually track that, take a screenshot as well, and I start writing down the confidence, the levels that I'm looking for, and so on. Yeah, so again, S&P, it does look good in here. I do like this structure in there, and I think we are going to have this range in here to play with this week. I think eventually we are going to retest this level, this demand zone this week, so that's actually a target to look for in here. Nasdaq is a bit different, so he still needs to go slightly higher, even though kind of retested that level, but he can still go slightly more to the upside. But we also have the demand zone in here as well, so Nasdaq may still wait a little bit longer to see what's going to happen in there. I prefer at this point more than what I'm looking for on the S&P, even though price can definitely just retest this left shoulder in there as well, and move down without even the need to create another breakout. There's that supply as well. We broke slightly that level, so that's going to be interesting. And Dow Jones as well, quite interesting. So that's another one. We are at all-time highs at this point, and that's going to be quite interesting to see what kind of behavior is going to create in there. Is going to create momentum or not? We either tested or already broke this low in there. Yep, we did manage to break that low, so that's a small one that was taken, and eventually I think price can navigate and play in between this level. This is the previous high on the left side, so price can also bounce from here and resume the move to the upside. Okay, but eventually can also get into this structure in here. So that's just again, I like them because at this point they are close to highs or fake out the highs, so start to create some liquidity. That's why I'm looking at the indices and thinking of potentially look for a short in here, depending on the PI. And PI at least priced as this first initial retest towards this demand zone in here, the same thing that we saw on the S&P. As soon as price gets to this level, then that's a different story. We'll see how price then eventually reacts from here. Yeah, that's basically it. Again, crypto into the upside. I'm not really interested at this point in looking for anything in crypto. Good move. Started the week quite strongly. This level can be interesting. Still need a lot more PI before even considering anything. This point is still going up, so not really interested in anything in here on crypto for now. The BTC, Ethereum as well. Let it go up a little bit more. Let it show a bit more of PI to see what's going to happen. If it actually breaks and wants momentum, or it's going to, by any chance, even retest some of this structure in here. Yeah, so again, just to summarize, yes, Euro index in there, dollar index as well. We'll see if it's going to break or not eventually. These flows in there. And then, yeah, so this is what we're looking for, right? So again, euro dollar, that starts to be interesting. Again, with the news, it was literally that, but the news, I mean, during the interview with the Fetcher Powell, price just spiked there. It was kind of missing that break of volume, but we didn't manage to break the highs, so that was something that we're looking for. So euro already managed to break that high. I was looking for price actually to break slightly more this week, which actually respected. I was looking for price to get closer to that level. It's still compression, just retesting then the demand zone created this morning already with the opening. So we'll see what's going to happen. I do like a little bit the compression that you can see in here so far, and I'm going to be curious just to see how price may eventually react from one of these levels. I wouldn't be surprised though if you do by any chance actually go all the way and even take this level in here. Okay, that can actually depend on what the Euro Index also is going to do in there. Is Euro Index just going to fake out double top and turn, or is going to eventually take double top and use that as momentum to eventually go even higher? And therefore, maybe Euro Dollar can also go all the way through and get closer to this zone a little bit more to the upside and fake out this size. So that is something to pay attention. At this point, this low is still the low in control in here. Yeah, nice little move with that spike in there on the Euro Dollar. So I wanted to go slightly more to the upside. Maybe can fake out this level. It's going to be interesting tomorrow morning. What's going to happen in here? I'm going to be looking for potential shorts depending on how price reacts from here. And at this point, price actually kind of retesting this level. If you do break below this level, then it opens even more the door to potentially look for downside in there. But we'll see what's going to happen in here. But that's a little bit of the zone that I'll be looking for on the Euro Dollar. Pound missed the break of the high, so it's still respected the break, respected this level in here. Again, that's the supply above. That's what I'm looking for, either in here or in there on the time frame we saw yesterday. That's a nice little supply in there, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. Again, price is still ranging in between this level. 100% I'm going to be waiting for price to fake out that level, and that's where I'm going to be looking for potential shorts. So that's on the pound. Okay, so I like the level on the left side, at least for initial reaction. I like that price has been quite bullish as well for a few days now, and it starts to show some weakness. Okay, it's no longer just creating a lot of momentum. It's actually kind of ranging a little bit. That's perfect for what you want to look for, and maybe can have a little bit more of a break in here. Again, it's going to be interesting if it retests that level. This one's also interesting. But yeah, maybe we can have something like that, fake out that level, get into that supply on the left side that we looked for, and go from here. So tomorrow morning with the opening, US Open can be quite interesting in terms of news. Yeah, tomorrow there's nothing. Yeah, the CPI is on Wednesday, and unemployment is on Thursday in the UK. Okay, so Right, it's not yet, so it's going to be then on Thursday. Oh, sorry, on Wednesday. So it's going to be interesting to see if price starts to shift a little bit. Again, it has been quite a big bullish run in here during these last 2-3 weeks on the pound. Take completely everything in there, so we'll see how price may react from there. That's going to be definitely something to pay attention to. Another one that is quite interesting is the one on the euro pound. Like, it finally got close to the level that you're looking for in here. So it managed to fake out that low that we mentioned with the opening. So it fake out with the gap, fake out that low. I'm still looking for price to get a little bit closer to this demand zone in there. So that will be still a level that will be my favorite. I do like a little bit the PA. Again, the PA is quite nice, the one that actually was created in here. But I will still be looking for price to eventually fake out that will get a bit more into that demand zone before a turn. But there you go. It starts to show a little bit more of a shift momentum in here after as well such a big push down. Can definitely retest one of these levels and challenge a bit more to the downside. Or by any chance, since we already took the low, if the euro pound wants, maybe can just respect this low and go higher. Hopefully for me, I want it to go slightly lower. Just a few pips more. It's not that much, like 15 pips, 10 pips, whatever it may be. A bit more to the downside until that level, and then yes, then you can start turning. We already also took this low now. Sorry, this highs. So basically took that level. That's nice. Even here on this time frame, then you can again fake out this one more time and use it to go higher. And this one's maybe just something in the middle of the range eventually as price navigates to the other side. So yeah, euro pound definitely something to pay attention. I do have again, another important part of making your pre-market analysis is setting up alerts, right? Don't forget to set up alerts on the levels that you are interested, so at least you don't miss the opportunities. And that's actually one of the differences. Sometimes with trading, it's just these small details that they are easy to do, but sometimes we forget about them, and all of a sudden we miss a trade in there. Aussie, don't really care about it so far. I want eventually to take that high, so I'm not really looking for anything on the Aussie. Aussie continues to push a bit more to the downside at this point. Again, not really interested on anything on the end pairs, even though price is actually getting a little bit closer to something in here. That's potential level to look for, but just continues with the momentum to the downside. Actually, this doesn't even look anything interesting. Price can actually even continue to move lower in there. Yeah, but we actually have this below. Okay, we'll see what's going to happen, but not really on my radar at this point. Actually, the only one that's actually a little bit on my radar, and this is the cut pairs, and these ones that I'm actually going to be interested to look for trades. Just moving down now, because it's actually moving down. Okay, so cut tomorrow is going to be an interesting one with the CPI, and expecting some movement in here. So cut the end actually is one that between the end pairs that is being a bit more bearish. Price can retest this one more time and continue to move down. There's a lot of compression here, which eventually can push this CAD a bit more to the downside, so almost filling out this space in there, which would mean that CAD would move down in here, which means on the other ones it would actually move up. Yeah, but we do have some structure in here. In alignment with this line in here, we do have a little bit of structure that price could use and could react from. So that will be interesting. We do have now this low that maybe price can eventually use as well as liquidity just into something more in here. That will be something to pay attention to see how price may react from underneath this bubble in there. Yeah, can continue a little bit more. Just something to have in my radar. Nothing really much. I'm not really going to trade this pair in here. The ones that I've been looking for is the euro pound CAD, and now they are turning. Interesting. All right, so starting again, dollar CAD is not my favorite. It did make that run to the upside. It fake out that level again, as I mentioned. Similar to the euro pound, it fake out the low, but didn't really went all the way to react from that level. But meanwhile, we started to create a pattern, right? It starts to break the highs, fake out, and then starts moving to the upside, and now we are literally basically a bit in the middle between that high and this low. That's a little bit of a good level in there, faking out this high into that zone. That's a good one. So let's pay attention to see how price is going to react from here. But this dollar CAD at this point, it's a bit in the middle from what I can see in here. So it's not my favorite level at this point. It can push down, it can maybe just react from here. Again, my favorite to be still a little bit more to downside, but at this point it can also go there. So it could go up or down, up or down at this point in here. But if the euro CAD and pound CAD actually do want to go lower, then maybe dollar CAD could also move lower. So this is the one. It's actually starting to move. So we do have this range in here now. That's interesting. So it starts to be really interesting at this point. So we are retesting these highs. Okay, so that's exactly what we were mentioning yesterday. We have been quite bullish recently. Again, you can see how many bullish candles we have, quite strong. Today it was another one. At the same time, even though it's kind of a bullish day, it starts to take a little bit of these demand zones. Slightly broke that low as well. Slightly broke this low as well. So it starts to break slightly a little bit some lows and compressing a little bit. As you can see, a little bit in the lower time frame, as price is moving, it starts to compress, starts opening a little bit the door. Now you have this demand zone. This one basically is already respected. In there, we have that break of that low, and all of a sudden you're looking for price to go in there. But this one also already broke that one. So we start opening the door for something like this eventually. Now, is this the high? Like, this is where you need to keep remaining patient at this point for the reversal. So we do have a double top now, and price is finally basically breaking a proper low at this point in here. Is price just going to do this? We'll see. Like, I'm not going to open any trade right now. I'm going to wait for tomorrow to see where it's going to, tomorrow around the London session, to see where price is going to be. But I would like to see a little bit more of a fake out in there. Initially, you're looking at this supply, price basically just ignored it, actually reacted initially a little bit underneath from there, and now price is in here. Now this high, like, we need to start paying attention where the price is reacting to on the left side, like, which is always the first point of what I mentioned before. We have all this compression, like, price, I believe that the previous high reacted from the extreme of this level, and as soon as we basically break above that, we have almost all this compression to fill, and we can go into there. So that could be something that with the CPI news could just fill all these 60 pips, 65 pips range that we have in here on the euro CAD, and after that we could start having some reaction from here. So we could have that spike, and then we'll see. And we need also to pay attention that price respected this low. So we have been moving like this a little bit. Price it went up. It came all the way down, but it respected this low in there. Okay, there was no proper break in here. There was nothing that actually respected all the way down the extreme, the origin of this move, and now is moving upwards, which means that this high may not be as strong as it would look like, because price actually respected this level in here. So that's something just to bear in mind in terms of reversals in here. Now price is reacting from that level. You can maybe try to see where actually that is or what's in there. Yeah, I think it's actually this one in here, which is, yeah, overall is not a bad one. Like, there is this spike in here, basically collecting liquidity above this left shoulder, and price is reacting from this level in there. So the reaction is not bad. If you do eventually fake out this level, then they need to be slightly higher in here. Yeah, I don't like now this level up at this point. Could create some structure in here. Yeah, preview price is actually moving down. It could respect now this supply level in there. Could move a little bit more to downside. We have a little bit of this compression, and at this point, basically, this is the range so far that we'll be looking for this euro CAD to move towards. Okay, basically 30 pips level, considering all the way there, almost 40 pips that this euro CAD can move. So that will be one of the initial targets that you can aim for. Is going to be this low in there. Personally, again, as I mentioned, I would like to see this one making one last fake out now of the structure, and after that, price could could drop. So that would be my ideal. In terms of the zone on the left, it's not my favorite. I wouldn't consider that as a A+ level for me. As I mentioned, the way price respected this level, price can easily maybe actually fake out everything in here and take this high and either fake out and go down, or kind of fill complete with the range straight away into this level, which is quite good. This level is actually quite good in there to look for. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one on the Euro card. I think the last time that we had CPI in Canada, let me just check which day was it. 25th of June. Yeah, as you can see, 25th of June, it was the last CPI. It was much higher than expected, and you had the shift. Like again, CPI data, unemployment, those are the news that can actually start a new cycle, especially in FX, right? That can definitely start a new cycle, and it started, right? It was on the 25th of June. Yep. It was at 0.6% on a monthly basis. It was expected 0.3, so it was basically twice as big as it was expected. And there you go. It was a spike in here. Price actually moved down. It was another one that was moving quite nice to the downside, but we had this level before that. Like it was already break to the upside. With some spike, we had these lows to fake out, and then price just fake out at level, and it turned. It's a little bit different from what we have at this point. There's not exactly proper high in here created that can be used to fake out. The highs are actually maybe in here, in case price actually wants to respect that level in there. So yeah, let's see how price may react from around this level in here, and if you have a shift or not. Otherwise, price, as I mentioned, in the bigger picture can just go there. So that's Euro card. It's going to be definitely one that I'll be tracking for tomorrow. And then pound card, it's another one. Okay, so that's actually something that I mentioned this morning on Twitter. So is price reacting now from the supply that we talked about yesterday, right? So price basically filled this space that was available. It can go still slightly higher, and eventually can even fake out this high as well and kind of navigate a bit more towards something in there. Again, there are quite a few left shoulders in alignment with these previous levels. There are quite a few highs in there that you can basically see. Yeah, this is what you can see on the monthly time frame. Yeah, on the monthly is quite good as well. So yeah, price is basically now reacting from that level. It's a little bit of a good approach as well in terms of compression. So again, as I mentioned, look left, try to see the good level on the left side, and to identify this basically this level. Again, price can still go slightly higher. We have kind of a few lows being broken already, even on the approach. Again, comparing with the Euro card, this low, no idea where this actually reacts from, this kind of COVID lows, but it's getting really close to this extreme now, okay, one of these extremes in here. And for at the moment, the reaction is holding a little bit level. Now, I still expect some kind of liquidity to be created, right? This is a proper range, and price can easily just come towards this level and continue to push higher. So I'm going to be looking for some kind of fake out in here. It's some kind of PA. Again, breaking one of these lows is still kind of important to show a little bit more, and then you can either kind of have a little bit of momentum. And where is the other level? I don't have it. Yeah, so you can go a little bit closer to that level in there. Yeah, so it's going to be straight away tomorrow morning, especially again this pair as well. So that's something now that I was also taking into consideration today when I was trying to look for a short in here. Like I noticed that I still wanted the pound as well to continue to move higher. The pound dollar, it looks strong to me today. So that was something also to bear in mind. Like if by any chance you're about to short this pound card, even though it was a little bit more related to the card today, as you could see, dollar card as well was moving quite strongly to the upside, so pound card followed. But pound dollar was also a little bit still challenging those highs. If I'm still expecting actually maybe pound dollar to break out that high, maybe I could still see a little bit more of a room to the upside in here on the pound card, a little bit similar to the euro card as well. Like if I'm eventually looking for the euro index maybe to fake out that high, or the euro today to actually fake out that high at least, Therefore, maybe just being a little bit aware of that, so not to rush into some shorts in here. And in here could have been a tendency to look for a short, but price respected the demand zone. So if I didn't really get the short or kind of the entry straight away in there, and if I missed this move, then in my opinion, this was not a double top to look for a trade. Price respected the space, and that's where space is really important. Or kind of identify which space is available. It's important to look for a trade. Without space, again, there's no trade. Therefore, yeah, that was not the one to look for a double top setup. It's actually the opposite, right? That level then it starts being used as a long. So yes, this level in here tomorrow going to be interesting. Now we're going to have CPI, right? So of course I'm not going to be trading 5 minutes before the news. Okay, especially trading pound CAD, euro CAD, where as soon as the news comes out, like the spread gets wide, and it can even stop me out without even taking me price reaching kind of my stop loss, or the bid touching my stop loss. My stop loss. Therefore, preferably what I would love to see is to get already the PA straight away in the morning, like around the London Open tomorrow. Hopefully not Asian. Hope sometimes these guys do like to turn at 2 a.m. in the morning or 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. So hopefully it's going to wait until the London Open to get some PA to turn. Break a low in here, whatever, even respect this demand zone, take the orders from here, go higher a little bit more, and then get that PA for the turn. And hopefully tomorrow morning by the London Open we do have the PA to trade and to be already involved in the trade. And then if price evolves during the day, during the morning in this case, perfect. And I'll be managing my trade accordingly in that moment, because then we could maybe have a little bit of a push down in here. And then with the CPI, again, can be a little bit of a gamble or not, depending on where we are. If the actually price goes in our favor, perfect. If not, yeah, play stop loss, whatever it may be, depending on where price again is reacting from. Initially, the normal trade that could have been expected in here is just a normal move, like price went up, and that just retesting this previous level support resistance would be quite of a natural behavior from price, and therefore that could have been or should be one of the first targets to look for on any retracement, especially on the higher time frame in here. However, when you look into the lower time frame, that's kind of what I mentioned as well. In reality, price already spiked from the previous level of support resistance in here. It was some news. I think there was the PPI news on Friday. So price already reacted from it. So therefore, this level is no longer the target, right? Because the orders are already gone from there. So we start looking for the next zone, right? So basically that level is this peak, basically from this high to this low. That's basically the new range that you're looking for. Price already reacted from it. Then you have the next one, and price basically already reacted slightly from it as well. It created PI, so then a new reaction from there. So price is actually starting to have a lot of these levels compressed in here, which then instead of price looking for a target from here, it's either in there or already looking below that. Okay, it's no longer this level in here. Not really expecting another touch like this in here, which initially, if this level doesn't happen, that would be a natural target to expect from. At least take some profits from there, or see how price reacts from there. But at this point, this already happened. Therefore, it's either slightly above it, or price can actually go underneath that low in there. Yeah, so that's the other one for sure that I'll be looking for. Again, Euro CAD continues to challenge a little bit more. And then another CAD pair is the Aussie CAD, which also is reacting from an interesting level, right? So we had out this compression. It's not my favorite level it's reacting from, but in terms of bigger picture, we had out this compression created with this week as well. And this is on the daily time frame. The price basically started to break above it. It went compress. Again, on the daily time frame as well, it's been quite bullish in here. And now it's reaching this level, right? It's basically this previous level support resistance as well that made out this push up, this indecision, and there's maybe a decision point somewhere in there that finally managed to push price down. And as you can see, none of these highs has reacted from it or has taken those orders in there. We can definitely go into the lower time frame. Now I have a little bit more of a better idea of what's going on. This is basically somewhere in here is a decision point. Then everything is compressed all the way and price starts looking upwards. And this was basically the other compression that we saw on the daily time frame. So price is reacting somewhere from here at this point. So that's also a good level that we are looking for. Again, do have this supply in there. Price went down, up. Yeah, do I have lower time frame? Yep, I still have it. Just to see, so price went down, it went up, kind of created another one in there, and then kind of went up that again and it paused in here. So yeah, that basically the compression is actually all the way until that level. From there, that's where price started to compress to the downside. So that's where we have, or where we are in here on this Aussie CAD, which can be also another interesting level to potentially look for a sell. So we are compressing again, compression, maybe a little bit of a valve in here, more compression and more spikes in here. So that can also lead into a great or an interesting potential sell opportunity. Now, question mark, is the high in place, right? That's one of the questions. Is the high in place? Yes or no? I should be looking for another fake out in there. Yeah, this is terrible in terms of data. Yeah, this is a little bit to the news. Yeah, let's see how price may react. What kind of PA is going to be created around this structure. Break the lows, start to move a bit more to the downside. And yeah, in terms of the approach and where price is reacting right now, I think we could have a little bit of a retracement before eventually this Aussie CAD resumes the move to the upside. On the daily time frame, it would make sense to have some kind of reaction from here. So we could still go slightly higher, but maybe before actually filling out this range in here, price or dollar or Aussie CAD in this case could go all the way and maybe retest this level one more time. Maybe there's a demand zone in there that price could go and react from. Something in there. So that's another one on the Aussie CAD that yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Basically, from all the CAD pairs, ignoring the yen one, dollar CAD is one that's a bit more in the middle. The PA there and the where price is reacting is not my favorite at this point. Yeah, aside from that, I don't really have anything on my radar. So euro is going to be interesting. Pound, I want to see faking out the highs and reacting from the supply. The euro CAD, pound CAD, they are ones as well that I'm looking for. Oil at this point not interested in here. So price now is in the range. That was the one that we predicted last week in that and that one. So that's done basically, and now price kind of needs to create a little bit more PA in order for me to look for something. At this point, this starts to become, we have already too many lows in alignment in here, so I'm not really interested in longing or looking for longs anymore. Price actually reacted from OK zone, so it could actually resume or kind of literally break and go even lower in here. So we'll see, but sometimes oil does like to kind of trade in within ranges. So with maybe a little bit good PA and price is actually ranging in here. Yeah, maybe from here could happen. It's not my favorite now. This one was perfect, and this one was okay as well. Now we'll see. And gold, right? Gold reacted from the high, from that extreme that we mentioned yesterday as well. So it was a bit compressed in here. It was a big spike. Price kept respecting this level, and we had that big spike with the news, right? So price was creating a bit of PA. It was a nice break to downside first. We have the spike, and then price or gold is moving down. So it went all the way, literally to react from that extreme in here above this high, exactly the level that we talked about yesterday as well. So we'll see if gold by any chance end up creating new all-time highs again, or if it respects something in here. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Now gold end up respecting this level, so at this point it makes it look like a bit more bullish in the bigger picture, just because the lows we didn't really manage to create new lows in here. But maybe gold wants to range a little bit. Maybe that's something that's going to do. We'll see. Otherwise, expecting new highs could be also reasonable in here. Yeah, that's basically it. I already know what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow, so I'm going to pay special attention for those CAD pairs. Euro CAD, pound CAD, Aussie CAD can also be interesting, and the pound dollar and euro dollar, depending on what they're going to do in the morning, in order to look for potential shorts or not, with the dollar maybe resuming the move to them, or retracing a little bit more, depending on what's going to happen in there. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys. This is kind of a quick one. Again, if you do have any other pairs, if you want to discuss any pair that you are looking for, or a trading idea that you have, feel free to share or write on the comments. We can do that together. I can share my 2 cents with you. But yeah, most important is to do the pre-market analysis, like is to know what you are looking for, what you want to do. Take screenshots, try to see what kind of targets you are looking for. I'm just going to add, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to add the image on the Notion, and write down also the levels, and that's it. You can start visualizing, you can start being prepared and being emotional, kind of detached from eventually the outcome as well of whatever setup is going to happen. Sometimes it can be a bit frustrated when you are doing this and basically the setup actually happens overnight. I actually get more frustrated when setup happens like 2-3 a.m. in the morning and doesn't really allow me to participate, opposite to almost maybe even having a loss by trying to trade it. But yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's trading. One of the main differences for stocks is that there's no market closing, so it's working 24/7 in here. All right, so tomorrow go again, and this is a series that I'm going to start doing every day, so feel free to share, feel free to join and subscribe as well to the channel. And thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.